school up there in John 23rd. Moved down south when I was 17. Just competed in all the state rounds and so on and so forth. With you know, came through the ranks like all you kids, I'm sure you're doing, state rounds and all the junior grommet contests. Travel around Australia in the used to be called the ACC events, like the Australian Junior Series and then the Open Series, and got a really good seed to go on the QS Australian leg, and up qualifying quite early. And then yeah, did the QS 1 year, qualified, and then boom, I was on the CT for 11 years. Really worked hard in training with Steve Smith. I'm not sure if any of you guys know Steve Smith from Aspire Fitness in Claremont. Worked really hard to achieve my goals, because I didn't really have the talent that half of these guys have, kind of thing, like Taj and stuff. Kanoa, all these guys rely on their talent a lot, but I had to really work hard and be fit and focused, and you know, not make any mistakes in my career as such. So I was a work hard ethic kind of guy, and that's what basically comes out of my coaching kind of thing. I was that guy that didn't make mistakes in heats and kind of like worked really hard and, you know, achieving like perfection in a heat. And if the other guy out-surfed me, it was like that's how they had to beat me, and not for me making mistakes. So that's what I'm trying to teach these guys with their talent. You know, it was like, you know, if you have my heat strategies, they can kind of like achieve whatever they want to achieve. And, you know, it's kind of like proof in the pudding where these guys have come from in the last couple of years. It's like they're not call Griff the sponge, because he just sponges it all in. And I've been working with Kanoa for like, I know, 6 or 7 years now, and you know, he's gone through you know, they both won the QS the last 2 years. Like Griff won it year before last and Kanoa won last year. So you know, work hard, kids. It'll pay off, and believe in yourself, and anything is possible, I think.
My name's I qualified when I was 17. I was really young. I started coaching with Snake when I was around 14, 15, 15 I think. And yeah, he just told me, you know, whenever you want to qualify, I can get you there. And you know, at the time I was like, what are you talking about? I want to qualify now then. You know, I remember thinking that in my head, and I'm like, well, you know, he obviously means something when he says that. You know, you wouldn't just say that for no reason. And yeah, I just like believed in his few words and kind of just you know, put that mentality of working hard and the work ethic that I know he went through, and all his little stories he's told us, and talking about all the sand dune runs he's done. Where's that? Engine Up, yeah. Yeah, and you know, telling me all these amazing stories, and it kind of just lit this fire under me. And I was like, you know what? I want to do this. You know, I was really young at the time. I was you know, 16, 17, but I was like, you know, I'm ready to qualify. I'm ready to take on the big guys, and I trusted everything Snake said, and yeah, here we are now. This is my 4th year on tour, and yeah, I just won my first event a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, you know, sitting in the top 5 on tour now, and you know, couldn't be any happier with where I am, and you know, hopefully we can strive for bigger goals and get some more titles.
Hi, I'm Griffin Colapinto. Been working with Snake for like 2 years, and it's been pretty fun, or 2.5 I think. But I come from a small town called San Clemente in California, kind of like here, and got a bunch of friends, surfers about the same age, and we all grew up together, just like you guys, and just going down to the beach every day and kind of just surfing as much as we possibly could. Like, go down to Lower Trussell's, my parents would drop us off, we'd go down there, and we just surf from like dawn to dusk, and get super sunburnt. But it was super good, got a lot better, and then ended up starting to do contests, and through contests I met a bunch of friends, traveling, really cool. And then I started working with Snake on the QS after having a shocker for about like 3 years or 2 years. And the first full year working with Snake, he's like, I already told the press you're going to win the QS this year. And then at the time I was like, oh, not a chance. Like, no way. And then I ended up going and winning, but I wouldn't have had the confidence to do that without him. So yeah, it's all been good.
And you've probably been asked a million times, but what was it like standing in that tube the other day at Fox?
It's pretty incredible. It's like doing a floater on the foam ball.
When we were growing up, we were pretty famous in Cottesloe and stuff, and he was called Ant-Man, and then I was Jake the Snake, and my little brother was Flea, so it was like Jake, Snake and Flea, so our family of animals.
Yeah. Unreal. How do you guys, as a sort of team, deal with the stress? Obviously your own little family as a collective together, but how do you deal with being away from your family and friends at home when you're away for 11 months of the year and don't really get to see them that often?
Me?
Okay, you're all away from your friends.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just something that you kind of have to get used to.
Your family travels a bit with you?
Yeah, well, my family comes to half the events with me, and same with Griffins, and you know, it's kind of having that home feeling abroad, and you know, but then again, you know, being on tour, and you know, these guys are my family, and you know, it's, you kind of never feel alone. And you always feel like you have people supporting you, and have this kind of circle that, you know, that they don't replace your family, but you know, it's kind of that thing where they keep you comfortable. And you know, with technology these days, I talk to my parents all the time, and you know, they're always in my corner, and you kind of feel that love, and it's kind of, you know, all you can ask for.
Stinky nailed it.
And equipment. So these guys obviously may not have the sort of exposure to getting as much equipment as you guys, but sort of some tips that these guys can have in terms of travelling. We obviously do our state titles at 3 different locations up and down the coast, but what would you say would be the most important thing in terms of equipment to have with you, regardless of where you're going with and where you're surfing?
Well, for me, for these guys, the equipment's everything. It's like builds confidence, like if you've got a magic board, and I always tell these guys, I've busted balls about putting their favourite board on ice and never riding it, because you know, there's nothing worse than breaking your favourite board and then you got to heat the next day. So you know, it gives you confidence, and feedback to your shaper is so crucial for when you're growing up, kind of thing. Even if it's like, you know, the shaper's going to know what you're talking about. If you say, oh, it feels a little bit stiff, or it's a little bit slow, or it doesn't go as good on my backhand, or something like that, as much feedback as you can for your shaper, so he can kind of work on, or it feels a bit wide, or something. Just not just like it doesn't work. It's like there's a reason why it doesn't work. It's not just it doesn't work. He needs to know why, so he can try and improve it for your style. And video footage for your shaper to look at is really important as well. I mean, I videoed pretty much, I don't know, 90% of you guys' session probably, and we go over everything, like, you know, from bottom turns to top turns and how to improve on everything. It's not just left up to, like, we don't leave any stone unturned. We work on 1%ers. You know, we want to be, you know, everything we can control, we're trying to control, and let Mother Nature deliver the canvas for these guys to paint their picture, kind of thing. And you know, the equipment's ready, you know, the backup equipment's ready, their fitness, health, nutrition, you know, we tick every box, and then we're waiting for, you know, the performance to come out. And you know, if you've got your magic board and you've got the right wave, you know, we don't leave any excuses. We don't believe in luck. Well, I don't. Well, I've taught these guys not to believe in luck. Luck's a cop out. Why is that guy lucky that he got that wave in the heat? Like, why weren't you there? Why did you use your priority? And why was that? You know, it all happens for a reason. You create your own rhythm in a heat. It's, you know, so there's no cop out. Like, so, you know, the work hard ethic is what it is about, you know, the equipment as well. It's like giving feedback for your shaper, keeping your favourite board on ice for your heat where it counts, and not just, you know, surfing it to the death. You know, you might have that many boards, you know, these guys have the luxury of travelling with. How many boards have you got here? Honestly,
25.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? He can say his favourite board for his heat, you know what I mean? He's working on finding the next favourite board. So, you know, that's another thing, you guys. There's no lucky, there's no guy that's always I hear it heaps that guy's a wave magnet. He's not a wave magnet. Why aren't you a wave magnet? Go sit next to the wave magnet, take the fifth wave off here. It's, you know.
About your group, how many have you got?
I think I've got 12 here, so Usually about 12. Like,
2 board bags normally, huh?
yeah.
Gonna use spares?
And do you guys often get equipment from different places around the world, or do you generally stick to your one shaper? Obviously, it's a little bit different when you're going from snapper to here to Performace and bells, and they're all different waves. So.
Well, they have their own shapers that they work with, so they don't really chop and change at all. Like they, you know, and they've got different curves for different places, like different rockers. Like, for instance, you know, Snappy rider like a pocket rocket in the Mayhem, and then he used a driver. It's got a driver rock curve. It's like, so it's a flatter curve that, you know, got more drive off the bottom, and at Snappy you need more curve. So, you know, we fine-tuned all these guys' boards to know what board works where.
And then again, you know, like I had my shaper from America, but then the board I won Groms on was from a shaper from Australia.
But he was shaping for
the same company,
same company, but different shaper.
Different shaper. I mean, you know, we break so many boards. That's kind of like, you know, you got to try and keep up with the boards you're breaking, and then try and keep up with, you know, where our body types are changing all the time. Like, you know, I can lose 2 kilos like that, and I can put on 2 kilos like that. So
what a dream, huh?
Yeah, it's like keeping up with it.
Yeah. So the other thing was you touched on nutrition. How do you guys find, with obviously being in different parts of the world, keeping up with your nutrition? Are you really strict with your diets? What type of thing do you guys do prior to getting, obviously a week out from an event? Do you start eating certain foods or?
Oh, he's a massive.
Yeah, tell him how many suitcases of chocolate food.
Yeah, I just go to like my favorite grocery store at home and just pick out some stuff that like I always have at home, and then I'll bring that with me, so that way you have those like home foods still, you know, to create that like home vibe. So yeah, it's pretty important, I think, for that.
NutriBullet, you normally travel with the NutriBullet.
Bullet coffee. Travel with the blender.
Yeah,
They're pretty lucky. There's pretty good food everywhere we go, and you know, these guys are pretty in tune with their bodies and what they like to eat before they compete. And everyone's different though. So
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I'm the exact opposite. Like, I've been to all these places so often that I know where I want to eat, wherever I am, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like here, I love eating in town. I love eating at Maury's. I like eating at the Common. And I have my places that I kind of already feel accustomed to eating at, and you know, you kind of get that local vibe and feel when you're eating around. And but then at the same time, I mean, for me, I just want to make sure I can adapt, and you know, wherever I go. But it's tricky. It's hard, but you just kind of have to get. I think your body gets used to it after a while.
Nice. So we were meant to have a talk with the judges today. We ended up talking to Kieran, the commissioner, about what the judges talk about prior to the event starting. But how important, and Snake, you probably touched on this one, being dialed in, day out, obviously with the conditions changing on what the judges are looking for. Obviously with our events, we have obviously a panel of judges that the kids can obviously come up and ask what the judges are looking for on each given day.
yeah, I find it hard sometimes even myself. The last couple of events, like, it's really tough. Like that, I feel like the judges go through waves of judging some things higher than others. Some events, depends where you are. I mean, I had a real hard time in Bali. Like, you know, just going, okay, go out there and do this. I think this is what they're going to score, and you go out there and do it, and it's like baffles me that they're not scoring. Like, and then like for here, it felt so hard to get scores in Bali, and then here it feels like you do a couple of cards and you're getting really rewarded for it. So it depends where you are and thing, but it's all about sitting there, getting early to the contest and adapting, like watching a couple of heats before your heat and seeing what, you know, whoever's winning the heats, seeing what they're doing. That's what I normally do, like see what kind of momentum the judges are throwing out there, kind of thing. Like if it's power surfing at Margaret River or if it's trick surfing at Snapper or at D-Bar or something, it's like we try and adapt. So it's pretty tough though, because sometimes it baffles me as well.
Yeah. And mental prep and strength, these guys did a mental strength component to our program this morning. Are there any sort of techniques that you guys use for mental prep, getting in the zone before heats? sort of relaxing after heats, and how do you switch off when you're not at the event site?
Well, these guys got to switch on and switch off like a light, because like a 12-day window, and if your first heat, you can be on hold for like 6 days, getting up in a routine every morning, going down to the contest on dark, you can be called off, or on hold, and then called off. It's like, it's exhausting. And it's, you know, the mental, everyone has their own different routines and mental coaches and psychs and all kinds of stuff, so it's, each individual is different, you know. Like I coach every single one of these kids different to each other, like Steph as well. Like Steph's won 7 world titles. Like she wants different stuff from me than say Griff does, if you know what I mean. So it's about, for me, working out what benefits each person differently. Like the QS guys I coach are completely different to these guys. You know what I mean? Like they've already had the knowledge and the confidence and stuff. Just I can I go sit there for 20 minutes and don't take off until you can get this wave that we're, you know, that we're on. And he'll sit there calm as day, and one of the QS guys will buckle, you know, and they probably fall off. And you know, these guys are used to not falling off and building, you know, their safe surfing up to a huge level where they're confident of getting an 8-point ride and knowing they're going to get an 8 without falling. And that's all to do with mental strength and confidence.
But yeah, I think that just goes back to the one percenters, and you kind of
ticking that box.
You just tick those boxes, and you kind of if you have the preparation, you know, it's just one less thing to worry about when you're in game day. So, you know, having Snake in the corner and having that hard work ethic, I think eliminates a lot of stress and pressure.
But the mental side of it's a huge part of the pie. You know what I mean? Talent, I reckon, is probably, you know, 30 to 40%. You know, and then the other 40% is like, you know, mental. And then so you've got 20% to work out equipment, you know, confidence, everything out. And you leave, hopefully, Mother Nature's like 1%. Because, you know, some things can go your way, whatever, but like, Mother Nature can be a bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
But, you know, we leave 1% to chance, I think. So.
And along with that is your fitness. How, obviously being different parts of the world, how you guys keep up with your fitness component and staying healthy and making sure that you're tip-top shape? Obviously you surf a lot, but anything other than surfing that you guys do that these guys might be able to take into their competitive?
Pretty much every day these guys train apart from surfing. It's not just to walk in the park like just going to surf every day and be fit enough to beat the other guys. They have their own routines and stuff. I don't know if you want to share them, but
yeah, I'll do a little routine, like have like a sheet of paper with like 8 or 10 exercises on there, and each day I'll try and do it. And
a lot of stretching and stuff as well, huh?
yeah, not like crazy, like blow yourself out exercises, but just like...
It's important not to be sore, but keeping that fitness level up. It's not just like on my way on the road and I'm just going to rely on surfing fitness. It's like, it's just that, you know, 1% could be fitter than the other guy.
Yeah, we're competing so much that, like, you know, it's all about maintaining. You know, we're not going to get any stronger, you know, during these events, but it's just about maintaining your strength and keeping those muscles activated. And yeah, I mean, I like to stretch every night. It helps me relax and go to bed.
Did any of you guys have any questions for these guys while we're wrapping? I do.
Do any of you have jobs outside of surfing?
Yeah, I do.
Well, it's a pretty full-on job, so it's kind of
No way, these guys are making buckets.
we have it too easy.
No. Yeah, I do.
When you were growing up, like our age and stuff, did you have any other hobbies except for surfing, or was it just like surfing?
I had golf.
Yeah, pretty much just surfing.
Yeah, it's just yeah, a lot of surfing and, you know, spending time with your friends and your family, and that kind of, for me, like spending time with my friends is like almost like a hobby, because you get to, like, you know, hang out and turn off away from surfing just to relax. And
is Instagram a hobby?
yeah. Is Instagram a sport yet? Yeah, that's you know, surfing is a big part of our life.
Screen time, let's see the screen time for today, boys.
It's about 8 hours.
Jake, what happens if Griffin and Kanoa are in the same page?
We give them boxing gloves and then... Well, we normally have heats like away from the contest to try and build up each other, so they kind of know their own strengths and weaknesses anyway, so I kind of like just just say, go for it, guys. Like, I don't want to help one guy more than the other guy, and I don't want to be seen helping one guy more than the other. So I kind of just go, you guys know each other better than most, so good luck, you know. I don't try and, it's impossible. I can't. I just go.
Those are his favorite hits, so
No.
he wins no matter what.
Well, these guys shared a final at the US Open last year. It was incredible. So it was, you know, that's the pinnacle. Getting both the guys I coached to a final, and it's just like, okay, and it was incredible. Like, guys went to blow to blow, and then he won on the last wave. It was pretty exciting. So.
How did you meet Claire and Dino?
I just met him through surfing in town. Like, he lives in San Clemente too, so I was 5 years younger than him, so I never really became friends with him until I was like 16. Got a little more mature or whatever. But, yeah, that's all.
So, can I just ask, Jake, the boys probably haven't heard the whole story, but Jake, can you explain the name of the run you used to do with Damon East, where he ended up, and the components of it? Because it's a really good story, what you used to do with him, with the training regime. And I presume that was outside of competing, you tried to do that during the rest period?
Yeah, that was my summer. Like the off season, I like put a huge, which was terrible because it surfed really bad when I was doing this training regime. I called it the JP 5000.
That's it.
We parked the cars on Cage Road and we rode our bikes down to Engine Up Car Park. We run along the beach, we do 10 dunes, and then we swim back to the bikes, and then we race back to the car. And it's pretty heavy.
10 times up and down the up sand dune.
Yeah.
For anyone who's seen it.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know, it was something like 8 Ks on the bike, and then the hills going down, like on the way back was torturous, but we used to race, so, and then the dunes, and then the swim, like the swim was trying to like get your breathing back into after the dunes, like back into the body, and then the bike race, it was pretty drooling, but like, do that for 2 months, and I tell you what, like a couple of times a week, and then that was every day I was running the beach and yelling up and doing sand, like sprints on the sand and stuff, and I try to be the fittest on tour. That was my, you know, my goal.
It hurts more to lose.
It hurts more to lose, I tell these guys all the time. It's like one of those things, you know, and I just pride myself on, like, if it was trying conditions, like back when I started, it was best 3 waves, no jet skis, you know, boom, you had to catch 3 waves, not fall off, boom, 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 and I felt like I was the guy that kept every really good surfer honest. Like I always had, like, if it was tough, I always had 3 6s or 3 7s or whatever, and they'd have to really work hard to beat me. So, and then with these guys, I just go with your talent, you know, it's, the sky's the limit. So.
What was the pinnacle? Because you were an aggressive competitor, really red hot competitor from day dot. I remember when we were like 12, 13. You had that burning desire to win then. When was the point when you started to actually go, right, I need to train now? When did the physical stuff, was it when you started with Smithy, or was
it was pretty much like when I was about, well, I got to the stage where I was going, is this going to be my career? Like it was like 16, 17 kind of thing, and I was at that pinnacle point where I go, you know, my parents go, what are you going to do with your life? I was going, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly, put, you know, all my eggs in one basket kind of thing. And then, yeah, that's when I started training with Smithy, and I just really saw the results because it was just hard work. I was living down south, and I was driving to Perth 3 times a week to train, and then I'd drive home. It was like brutal, like 3 hours to train, and then train and then have a rest, and then drive home. It's pretty dedicated, I thought, and I was going, every time I rocked up, I went, I deserve this kind of thing. I put in the hard work, and I was aggressive competing because there was no priority back in those 4-man heats. It was like the first best wave I was on. And it was just like, but I waited for it, I positioned myself for it, like, and you know, if someone had to, you know, get really aggressive with me to take it off me, kind of thing. So, and I just believe if you're on the best first wave in the first 5 or 10 minutes, the odds are way in your favour of winning. And I never used to fall off, very rarely. So
16, 17, what would you say to the guys in the room if you'd started that training that hard earlier? Would that have been more beneficial for you?
I don't know. I'm not sure because it was. I know there's a point where you've got to decide, like, you know, it's a luxury, it's a luxury sport kind of thing. You know, you're supposed to be serving for having fun. I mean, everyone in here obviously to compete and they want to know some knowledge from us, but at the end of the day, you know, you're there to put on a performance for someone, and you're going to make it look good, and it's supposed to be look nice as in the surfing, you know, competitively kind of thing. And I kind of like, when I was Quicksilver team manager, I was encouraging all the parents to keep their kids in school, you know, because the percentages are to be a successful pro surfer is like 1 in 1,000. You get what I mean? So there's 1,000 kids, there's going to be one guy that's going to make half a living out of it, and then probably 1 in 5,000 that's going to, you know, buy a house from professional surfing. You know what I mean? So that's the odds that you're working against. So I'd say keep in school, and you know, homeschools. Like I see all these kids that are homeschooled these days, and they're going to be the next big thing, and I just go, really? Like wow, like why wouldn't you just be, you know, get the education first, and to mix it with the big guys these days, you have to be like body size wise, you have to be mature enough to survive. You can't just go, you know, like you're opening year on tour, like, you know, he was this little weed kid that kind of got smoked pretty much. Yeah. And like he qualified, but he learned that shitload. You know, I said first you go and enjoy yourself and learn as much as you can. Don't put any pressure, and you're experienced, because you know, with first year on tour is so gnarly. You know, going to all these new spots, you're coming up against Jordy Smith, this 6'3" giant that's like, you know, throws buckets of water, and you're there trying to tackle his little turns. And
I've put on 30 pounds since, that's like what?
Yeah.
9 kilos.
So how much do you weigh now?
I'm 173, which is like
78 kilos, I think, something like that.
I used to be like 68, I think.
Yeah, so he's put on like nearly 10 kilos since in the last 3 to 4 years.
Kanoa, did you lose a couple of kilos when you punched yourself in the head at Graham?
I lost a few brain cells for sure.
He put it on that night.
No, I was pretty excited. I didn't feel it.
That was a sick win.
Thank you.
Did you have any friends, both Griffin and Kanoa, going up on the tour, like when you were first, like your first year on the WSL?
Yeah, I mean, Kanoa, my friend, and Kalohe, my friend, and then just like made friends with all the other guys pretty much. And Connor Coffin is my friend. So yeah, it's pretty cool when you have friends on there.
But I tell you what, they hate losing more to their friends than the other guys. It makes it way worse.
Another thing that's amazing about traveling around the world and competing is that you make friends from all around the world. Like, you know, you have friends in Europe, you have friends in Australia, America, and all these places that, you know, you meet these new people that you thought that you'd never be able to, you know, even talk to. But then, you know, you kind of just like, you build a relationship through surfing, and you know, you keep seeing them every single year. And, you know, I have friends that I've made overseas just from, you know, competition and surfing that I'm sure I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
All of you, what would be your top, like, if any sport, what would be your top 3 favourite sports?
Oh, that was easy for him.
It's golf. I wait for to go play golf and surfing these days. Yeah, footy. I love AFL footy. Yeah.
Eagles, right?
Yeah, Eagles. Do they win? They're on right now. Who's scheduling this? There's no way. They were 45 points up when we came in. Yeah, I mean, these guys just grew up like living and breathing surfing kind of thing. In my generation, we had
133 to 72. Ooh.
There you go. Yeah, just another little thing. Goal setting for these guys. I make them set goals for the year, kind of thing. And it's not just like, oh, we'll win the world title. It's you got to break down your goals. It's like you got to like start at like you know, an achievable goal, so you can like tick that box kind of thing off. Like, you know, making the semis of the state round. If you know never made a semis, you know, start like achievable goals, not just I want to become a pro surfer. It's like that's, you know, you got to build a building block to achieve your goals, like as in achievable goals, not unrealistic goals, but like, you know, I think I made all you guys do it, write them down at the start of the year as well, like so you can actually tick them off and not just, you know, so they can look at them all the time. I know Kanoa had top 10 on his phone screensaver for the whole year last year. And when he finished? 10. So, you know what I mean? So it's a good little handy here to write them down so you can like actually visually look at something and go, oh, I actually did that. I worked hard and I achieved it, and then my next one after that goal was to this. Okay, now you've got something else to work towards. It's really important to reward yourself, kind of thing. Buy yourself a car.
Just like for inspiration for people training in the gym or wherever, what's like your favourite stuff to do to train for surfing? Like, be anything, but like, you know, I quite often find like running or whatever, really not monotonous, but is that a good thing to train your mind to?
Well, for me it was everything low impact, like always soft sand running. I've never run up bitumen or anything like that. Soft sand you can run 500 metres in your bucket kind of thing. It gets your heart going. Sand dunes is like, it's really short, sharp, but your heart wants to jump out your throat. Kind of mimic kind of like a heat simulation, like, you know, riding a long wave and then having to paddle out really fast. Stuff like short, sharp burst kind of stuff.
Just to swim. Swimming is good too.
Yeah, swimming's like low impact kind of stuff. Yeah. But I don't know, these guys all have like stretching is a really good one.
Core is important.
Core.
Yeah. Foundation.
And again, everyone's different.
And as far as like the actual, you know, biomechanics, like getting your movements right or whatever, you know, like do pop-ups and, you know, do stuff on land a lot, you know?
Yeah, we try to as much as we can in the gym. You know, we both have trainers in Orange County, and surfing is a big sport there. So, you know, these gyms that are, you know, supposedly that mimic a lot of movements of surfing. So, you know, I think our trainings are pretty similar, and just yeah, it's pretty much trying to surf outside of the water and trying to strengthen those muscles that you would use if you're in the water. Exactly that.
Yeah, with surfing beach breaks compared to barreling waves like the box. Say you surf the box or somewhere like Up or a beach break, do you think your board should be short rocker?
These guys are working on, like, they don't change their widths very much at all.
Really?
Like, yeah. Their standard board is...
The rocker, is it similar or is it the width?
It's the bond curve of the board. For the box, you kind of need curve because it's so steep and curvy kind of thing. And for the beach breaks, you need drive and sparkiness to get from A to B kind of thing. So they'd probably maybe go like an 1/8 of an inch wider, maybe half an inch shorter, and they're short. No, tiny bits.
So they're only mucking around with like bugger all?
No, bugger all. You get what I mean? The shortboards are all pretty standard. The bond curves is way more important.
So it's the rockers the most important thing?
Yeah. These guys normally have a lineage that their standard shortboards like the 27.1 or
26.1.
26.1, you know, 27 point something. 27. Yeah. So they stick to that leaderage for all the shortboards kind of thing, and they maybe tinker a tiny bit here and there, but we're talking minor changes because they've already got their favourite, well, they've already worked out what their favourite leaderage is, so, yeah.
And they don't go more leaders for bigger waves?
Oh yeah, like obviously the longer boards, you know, when they're riding a 6.3 out of Margaret's, it's going to be more leaders because it's a longer board, but the width is going to be the same, but the leaderage fills up because it's longer.
Are their rockers the same? That's what I want.
No, but I tried to explain that before. The curve, they have a curvier rocker for like the box and stuff, and then they ride a flatter rocker for Margaret's because you need to get up to the face kind of thing. So they have two different curves pretty much travel with. So they've got a curvy rocker, like a 511 curvy rocker and a 511 flat rocker for two different kind of waves. They're exactly the same board, except for if it's hollow, they're riding the curvy one. If it's fat and they need to do more carves and go from A to B like a beach break, they ride the flatter one. So it's not they won't change the width or anything. It'll all be exactly the same, except for different curves. Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Did you, both of you, or all three of you, win much events when you were younger? Like when you were about our age?
Yeah, I did.
He won a bunch.
Yeah, I remember watching. I remember when I was because we have this. It's called NSSA, National Surfing Scholastic Association, that we always compete in as juniors. And I remember seeing Griffin for the first time because he's a year younger than me. I was like, you know, probably 11, 12. And you know, I was doing good in those small events, and I remember seeing Griffin you made the final at Nationals one year on a pink board, and I was like, who is it? No one knew who he was, and he improved so fast, and he made the finals and got second in Nationals one year, and ever since then it was kind of like he switched on. I felt like, and he started making finals and.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
I was 10 then.
10,
but,
yeah. Yeah, but it's crazy. I feel like those years were so long. It felt like the Nationals felt like we felt like I did Nationals for like 10 years. But like, I mean, it's so weird. But
yeah, but I remember when I was like your guys' age, when I was like super young. I think I was.
How old are you guys?
12, 10,
I think-
11.
Okay, yeah, I think I was like 8 years old and like
I hadn't started surfing.
Kanoa came down the lowers, like one of my home break, and at the time he was like a popular young kid who was like, everyone knew he was like the gnarly surfer, you know, the young gnarly surfer. And like I was like super mesmerized by him at that time because he was like doing air verses and all this gnarly stuff. And we were like the same age pretty much, so it's like kind of weird. But then as we grew up, like I got a little bit better, and he kept the trajectory going. But like even like if you have that like later start of like starting to like improve when you're like 14 or 15, that's like that can happen to a lot of people too. You know, it's just like it's all about when you go surf, you wanna like be working on something. Like you have to surf a lot, but when you go out, you have to have like something in your head that you're trying to improve on, or else you'll like never get better. So like a lot of kids won't realize that until a later age, and that's when they start improving. Where there's some kids that have had that ingrained in their brain from like their parents or something maybe. But that's where I think you can make big improvements and quick, fast.